This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes, creators of the world's best repair manuals. Fix your car or truck the right way with our accurate and reliable information at your side. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete online manual at Haynes.com.
Automatic transmission fluid and filter change. Pull the hood release lever located below the steering column. Lift the hood safety latch, then raise the hood. Chock the rear wheels to prevent the vehicle from rolling. Then raise the front of the car and support it on jack stands. Position a large drain pan underneath the transmission fluid pan. With the drain pan in place underneath the transmission pan, remove the transmission pan mounting bolts. Carefully pry the transmission pan loose with a screwdriver. Then tilt the transmission pan as necessary to allow the remaining fluid to drain. It helps to leave a few of the pan bolts still installed, but unscrewed a few turns to support the pan while the fluid is draining. Carefully maneuver the transmission pan out from between the transmission and the exhaust pipe. Clean the pan with solvent and dry it with compressed air if available. Some models are equipped with magnets in the transmission pan to catch metal debris. Clean the magnet thoroughly. A small amount of metal material is normal at the magnet between fluid changes. Make sure the gasket surface on the transmission pan is clean. Then install a new gasket on the pan. Remove the filter from the valve body inside the transmission by pulling it straight down. Use a seal removal tool to remove the transmission filter seal from the valve body. If you don't have one, carefully pry the edges of the seal inwards and pull the seal out of its bore with its locking needle nose pliers. Lubricate the new seal with transmission fluid. Start the seal into its bore by hand. Then tap it into place with a seal driver or a socket of the appropriate diameter. Install a new filter onto the transmission, pushing it securely into the new seal. Carefully clean the gasket surface of the transmission to remove all traces of the old gasket and sealant. Maneuver the pan in place against the transmission and install all of the bolts. Working around the pan, tighten each bolt a little at a time until the specified torque setting is reached. Don't over-tighten the bolts and work up to the final torque in 3 or 4 steps. Lower the vehicle to the ground. With the vehicle on level ground, remove the transmission fluid dipstick and pour the necessary amount of the correct type of automatic transmission fluid through the filler tube, using a funnel. To start with, it is recommended to pour approximately 4 quarts of fluid into the transmission. With the transmission in park and the parking brake set, start the engine and let it idle for a few minutes. With your foot on the brake, move the gear selector lever through each range, pausing for a few seconds between each interval, then back to park. With the engine still running, check the fluid level with the dipstick. Add fluid if needed to reach the correct level. Be sure not to overfill the transaxle. The level should be between the 2 holes in the dipstick, with the transmission at normal operating temperature. If additional fluid is required, pour more fluid into the tube. It takes about 1 pint to raise the level from the lower hole to the upper hole, so add the fluid a little at a time and keep checking the level until it's correct. Do not overfill the transmission. Also be sure to shift the selector lever through the gear ranges between additions before checking the level with the dipstick. Insert the dipstick fully into the tube, then flip down the handle to lock it in place. Turn off the engine.